All right. Greetings. I'm Brother J. Spence. Good morning. Blessed uprising. Let us get our minds right because I'm still waking up myself. I just had a light breakfast. Still drinking my first cup of Joe, my trusty squirrel coffee mug. Give thanks. And we are picking up on the previous vid we did 2 days ago. Yesterday after work, I had to run some errands and then drive across town to visit my stepdad's mother, my Grammy, who flew in 2 days ago from Missouri to Charlotte. And my earthly parents, my mother and stepdad, went to go pick her up, drive her back here to Roanoke, Virginia, to visit for a few days. So we give thanks for that. I came back last night, and my brother and Matt had come over to fellowship. We were supposed to have a jam session, but that apparently never happened due to the usage of smoking and partaking in herbal candies, which is why I feel so groggy today. But I had a wonderful time and a blessed good night's rest. Give thanks for that. Let us continue in the new meditation handbook. Left off. The new meditation handbook. Yes, I. All right, so we left off. We left off somewhere over here in the previous vid. We ended where the author was talking about, in addition, these wish-granting jewels only had the power to grant wishes in one life and could not protect their owners in future lives. So ultimately, even they were deceptive. It's very interesting because he speaks of the major contrast of contaminated happiness versus a pure happiness that comes from a pure mind. So let's build on that. Salika, excuse me. Only the attainment of full enlightenment will never deceive us. What is enlightenment? It is omniscient wisdom free from all mistaken appearances. That is enlightenment, its true definition. A person who possesses this wisdom is an enlightened being, a Buddha. So there you go. We are all called to be, as sons of man, we are all called to be Buddhas, as enlightened beings, as true sons and true daughters of man, or sons and daughters of the Most High Jah, the omnipotent creator, the Elohim. All beings other than Buddhas experience mistaken appearances all the time, day and night, even during sleep. So this is the contrast of what is pure, what is real, versus vanity. When we look up the true definition of vanity, we find out it is emptiness, based off vain perceptions, empty, reasonings. Is contaminated happiness. It's not a pure happiness that comes from, as the brethren says, that comes from a pure mind and a pure heart. So let's get our minds right. First thing. Selassie, Tony, Yeshua. So, whatever appears to us, we perceive as existing from its own side. All right? Whatever appears to us, we perceive as existing from its own side. This is mistaken appearance. We perceive I and mine as existing from their own side, and our mind grasps strongly at this appearance, believing it to be true. This is the mind of self-grasping ignorance. Because of this, we perform many inappropriate actions that lead us to experience suffering. This is the fundamental reason why we suffer. Enlightened beings are completely free from mistaken appearances and the sufferings they produce. We think that I have to have this, or I have to have that, I must possess this, possess more money, a better job. Now keep in mind, pause right there. Pause for the cause for just a few seconds. With that being said, at the same time, there is nothing wrong at all. As a matter of fact, it's good and often necessary for many of us, for most of us, in this present life on earth to pursue goals, to have goals, to reach for that better paying job, to reach for, that's kind of what I've been doing for the past month. Still in the process of looking for a better paying job. My own personal benefit. Collectively, that's also part of Yah's will, or Jah's will, when it comes down to it, if you want to break it down spiritually. However, to rely on just that, like I have to have more possessions, more clothes, a bigger house, or even a house to live in. You can't be content with an apartment or a duplex, or even a hut or a sukkah. Yes, these things add to our happiness. Some will say I can't be happy without this person in my life. To meet the right, to meet the right kind of spouse, the right kind of person to be your future wife, or for the ladies out there to be your future husband or permanent boyfriend. Someone else who's right for us. Whenever we're meant to meet that person at the right place and the right time of our lives, regardless of what particular spiritual consciousness we're dealing with, what type of mindset we're dealing with or not dealing with in this present life on earth. Eventually, when certain things are meant to be according to the will of the Most High, the true living God, Elohim, the one true Allahayim of creation and the universe, as the father of creation and Mother Earth. We see, if it's fate, if it's Father's will, if it's God's will or Jah's will, we know that we will meet that person at the right place and the right time. If the chemistry's right, we build with them. That adds to our happiness. But that cannot be the source of your true happiness or your peacefulness. Maintain a peaceful state of mind and be happy in this present life on earth. That true happiness must stem, as I say, that true happiness and inner peace, that true inner shalom, or that true inner salam in your heart must stem from within. And then when you meet the right person, at the right place in the right time, with the right chemistry, that adds to your happiness. Otherwise, people depend on that one person or that one individual for their own personal happiness or peace. Become victim to a hostile relationship, a bondage type relationship. It's very unhealthy, especially when things go bad. You have terrible divorce, terrible breakups that lead to brokenheartedness and mental issues, and emotional issues, and baggage that you carry to the next so-called relationship. It's not good. So, enlightened beings, true Buddhas that we are as born-again sons and born-again daughters of man, as true born-again sons of the Most High Jah, we are enlightened beings. And another name for enlightened beings is a Buddha. Not just the Buddha. We are accorded to be Buddhas as enlightened beings, as opposed to, or should I say in parallel to Christ himself, the Messiah. And then we have Christ men. You have little Christ or Messiah types in reference to the Mashiach or the Messiah himself, the Christ himself, even through his majesty as the one true King of Kings and Christ Jesus Yeshua, also as Christ himself in his kingly character, as Christ himself in his kingly character as King of Kings in that second advent as Messiah, Ramawe Haile Selassie I, through reverence to Jah's will as the omnipotent Father of creation through the Son, in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, that triunity which is parallel to mind, body, and soul. We as man, reflection of the cosmos, as above, so below, and from within, I and I. we see that microcosmic reflection of the Most High through mind, body, and soul. Man is a trinity. So, it is only by attaining enlightenment that we can fulfill our deepest wish for pure and lasting happiness, because nothing in this impure world has the power to fulfill this wish. Only when we become fully enlightened, repeat that, only when we become a fully enlightened Buddha will we experience the profound and lasting peace that comes from a permanent cessation of all delusions and their imprints. We will be free from all faults of mental obscurations and possess the qualities needed to help all living beings directly. We will then be an object of refuge for all living beings. Through this understanding, we can clearly see that the attainment of enlightenment is the ultimate goal and real meaning of our precious human life. Since our main wish is to be happy all the time and completely free from all faults and sufferings, we must develop the strong intention to attain enlightenment. We should think, I need to attain enlightenment, because in this impure world, I repeat, in this impure world, there is no real happiness anywhere. Things seems to be temporary. A raise, a bonus, money to buy new things, possessions can make us happy for a short amount of time. It can make us happy for a short amount of time, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that in moderation. You just don't put that before purity of life itself. Do not put anything before the Most High or on this blessed Mother Earth becomes idolatry. See? This is the parallel of Jah's commandments within this great Torah of life in parallel to Buddha's teachings, what it means to be an enlightened Buddha when it comes to meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is a mind that concentrates on a virtuous object, and that is the main cause of mental peace. The practice of meditation is a method for being familiar or familiarizing our mind with virtue. That's familiarizing our mind with virtue. The more familiar our mind is with virtue, the calmer and more peaceful it becomes. When our mind is peaceful, we are free from worries and mental discomfort, and we experience true happiness. If we train our mind to become peaceful, we will be happy all the time, even in the most adverse conditions. But if our mind is not peaceful, then even if we have the most pleasant external conditions, it says, let me repeat that. It says, even if we have the most pleasant external conditions, we will not be happy. Thus the definition of vanity, emptiness. Therefore, it is important to train our mind through meditation. See, all these wealthy people, I don't just mean well off or somewhat wealthy or rich, but filthy rich and famous people. And many of them with this enlightenment can enjoy their blessings, of course, and many do. But you hear about all these famous, rich rock stars and pop stars and actors and actresses that seem to be so depressed. But you got all this money, you got spotlight, you have all these riches and fame of this present earth age. You could use that for so much good in this present life on earth, but become empty inside and turn to antidepressants, which become idols and these chemicals that are harmful to the temple, to your bodies. So that is vanity. It says in Jah word in the Bible, destruction of the soul is vanity. In Proverbs, I believe the great musical prophet Bahana Selassie, aka Bob Marley, sang about that. Destruction of the soul is vanity, yeah. So stiff-necked fools think you are good. Says whenever we meditate, we are performing an action that causes us to experience inner peace in the future. Day and night, throughout our life, we usually experience delusions, which are the opposite of mental peace. However, sometimes we naturally experience inner peace. This is because, I repeat, this is because in our previous lives we concentrated on virtuous objects. A virtuous object is one that causes us to develop a peaceful mind when we concentrate on it. If we concentrate on an object that causes us to develop an unpeaceful mind, such as anger or attachment, we all go there sometimes because we're human. This indicates that for us the object is non-virtuous. There are also many neutral objects that are neither virtuous nor non-virtuous. There are two types of meditation: analytical meditation and placement meditation. Analytical meditation involves contemplating the meaning of a spiritual instruction that we have heard or read. By contemplating such instructions deeply, eventually we will reach a definite conclusion or cause a specific virtuous state of mind to arise. This is the object of placement meditation. We then concentrate single-pointedly on this conclusion or virtuous state of mind for as long as possible to become deeply familiar with it. This single-pointed concentration is placement meditation. Often, analytical meditation is called contemplation, and placement meditation is called meditation. Placement meditation depends on analytical meditation, and analytical meditation depends on listening to or reading spiritual instructions. The benefits of meditation. Go on. We'll read about that in the hopefully near future. I was going to say, hopefully in the near to distant future, we have some other Torah portion scriptures to catch up on. So until then, shalom. Rastafari.